Jessica. Let's see, I'm gonna go, I just kind of feel like I ought to, sorry, I'm driving, I'm going, my little button.
All right, Barb, I'll monitor the waiting room and let people in as they join.
Okay. And I'm just gonna, should I get started? Are people all listening?
We've got a group and it's 2:01. Might as well jump in so that people can get out and enjoy this beautiful day.
Okay, well, hello everybody. Thank you for joining us for our first weekly webinar in the Near West Side. It's been a crazy month, 6 weeks for all of us, and we really want to stay in touch with everyone, and this is our way to do it right now. So again, thank you for joining us. We are going to videotape this, so folks that aren't able to make it are able to go ahead and see it at a later time. And I think I'm gonna, there we go. So welcome, that was my welcome. This is a friendly reminder that we planted flower bulbs last year, and 3,000 went into the ground all through our Near West Side, and want folks to take a look at the beauty that's popping up out of the earth. If you are a person that planted the flowers, please, please, please send us pictures, and we will be very happy to post them. Also, welcome to Captain Norman for joining us today. He was kind enough to be our first guest, and we appreciate that. And so he'll chat with us in a little bit. And as always, just if you need resources, the website's on the bottom of the slide, so that's about all you need. Just updates going on. I think a lot of folks are very aware of our action activities that are occurring with the Choice Neighborhood Grant. And with that, we had over 40 submissions. So very, very proud and excited about that process. And you can now go to our website where you submitted and actually review the proposals. It's more of a snapshot, but it's going to give you an overview of each one that was submitted and some ideas on how you think they can help our neighborhood and we can move forward. And all were within those realms and a lot of great creative ideas. So thank you to every resident, partner, you didn't have to be a resident, that took time and thoughtful and willing to try and make the Near West Side a great place to live, work, and play. So again, that website's on the bottom. And you can go to our website and find that information. Please do, because we want your feedback. The next step in that process will be evaluation for the CNI Choice Neighborhood rubric that goes with this. So there is a bit of a thorough review, and it's and then we'll take it to the NEON meeting. So the NEON meeting will be virtual, and I'll give you that information in a minute. Other great things, hopefully a few of you heard about Made in the Near West Side. That is our new weekly promotion of our businesses. And with that, this week we featured Lisa Kay. She did a Facebook presentation of how to make lasagna, and I will tell you, it was very good lasagna and a lot of lasagna, but fantastic meal. And really our goal is to help folks realize that we do have businesses in the Near West Side we want to support, and they are also good neighbors. So keep your eyes out for that. And then next week it's going to be 5 o'clock steakhouse. So maybe a little bit of a more bargain by being able to bring your dinner home. But we hear that we are going to learn how to cook the best steak in the city. So that'll be great. Then there's also a survey coming out that we'd like you to take a look at. This is called the Milwaukee Health Streets 27th Street Survey, and it's a combination of collaboration with Medical College of Wisconsin and UWM. So they're looking to get feedback. That will be posted on our listserv, or will be posted on the listservs this afternoon. It will also be on our website. They are mailing out 100 hard copies. So if you get a hard copy, no need to fill it out if you've already done the online survey. Otherwise, the more information they get, the better off we are. As I said, the new time for our NEON meeting will be Wednesday, May 20th at 7 p.m. It will be the same format, and our focus will be all those action activities, so we can really get our, learn more about details about those proposals and make some decisions as we are moving forward. Neighborhood House, if you aren't aware, is in the neighborhood on Richardson Street, and they have started doing food pantry. So right now they're just doing food distribution with Hunger Task Force, and that they should be doing one next week. Jeff wasn't able to assure what day they would be doing another distribution, which is the boxes. But as you'll see in the picture, Hunger Task Force has it all figured out. They've got people well dispersed and safe, so there's not a problem there. And with that being said, as NWSP Neighborhood House is taking on this new endeavor, they do need a new manager to manage the food pantry and also volunteers to help. So that's an opportunity for our neighbors to help others in our neighborhood. Again, if you have information about that, go to the Near Neighborhood House website. That's on the bottom. If you have questions, always feel free to contact me. College Court is the reason for that Choice Neighborhood Grant, and they are neighbors here in our 7 neighborhoods. They are in need of supplies for cleaning and personal care. We are doing a collection. If you have the ability to drop off some items to our waypoint, we would really appreciate that. We drop off supplies every couple of weeks, and they are being distributed individually to each apartment for safety of the residents. The staff at College Court has been very supportive and very appreciative that we've been able to help the residents while getting their hands on items that we all know are hard to get our own hands on, and especially for folks that are limited in their ability to be able to get out and need the extra resources. So you can drop that off at the waypoint, which is on Juneau Avenue, and pretty picture of the office front. You'll see a big sign out there, put all your items in a box, and then we'll pull it in. So again, minimizing contact, and we will all be COVID safe. And we thank everybody that's already dropped off supplies, and we continue to collect them. As I said, we have Captain Norman here, and we appreciate his time. He's a busy guy, and I'll just go ahead and turn it over to him.
Well, hello, Barb. Thanks for inviting us to be a part of this. The District 3 family and myself always enjoy communicating in regards to what's going on. I know that we have been trying to deal with a new norm. I know that we didn't had the chance to be at a lot of different community meetings and neighborhood meetings and whatnot because of the safe at home order and trying to, be a part so we can come back together. But it's nice to be able to have these opportunities to communicate and talk to each other, even if it is virtually, and still trying to find our way about to navigate this new norm. I know there's a number of different things that we like to talk about. I don't know if there's anything specific that like to be covered besides I see something about the Fusion Center. Just some updates for the Near West Side neighborhood. We had our first climate safety meeting last night via the webinar type of format, the video conference of sorts. Really have my hats off to the team putting this together because I'm pretty, computer illiterate, so I definitely had to rely on them. But just some updates in regards to sharing what we're doing right now for the community. We're dealing with some troubling times in regards to our violence. I know that has been a concern not only locally but nationwide in regards to the homicides and the non-fatal shootings. I know we have some concerns about shots fired. I wish I could report better news about what's going on in our neighborhood, but things are up. We are over the same level of where we should have been at last year in regards to our homicide and non-fatal for the district, almost 220% for the fatal, which is very concerning. And we've seen that some of it is, being told to stay at home where people don't want to, be around each other 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, unfortunately. So we are dealing with some of those residual unfortunate circumstances in regards to people are, unfortunately getting victimized of violence. Non-fatals are also up 5%. And the driving force that we've seen these particular type of activities is domestic violence. Domestic violence is going on an unfortunate upward trajectory that we are trying to find ways to intervene, even though we are reduced in regards to our contact. I know that, I have a number of different partners who work out District number 3 that Sojourner Truth House and DA's office and whatnot. And we are trying to wrap our heads around what can we do to intervene this unfortunate upward direction in regards to that type of violence. We do have also issues in regards to burglaries. Our businesses are being burglarized because of the safe at home order, where businesses are being dormant or at a less than higher capacity of being functioning in regards to the regular business hours. We had a situation with Kilborn Kitchen. Someone came through the ceiling. We are, being as responsive as possible. We have, specific patrols out there in regards to looking for those who are engaged in those type of activities. But no one can be a better resource for the Milwaukee Police Department than the community. I mean, if it talks about being, in regards to being vigilant, having surveillance cameras. I know that near West Side had the Ring program, those cameras, Arlo's, all those are information generators for us to be able to find out who's doing what and where. So we did catch the individual for the Kilburn Kitchen. We had another individual who was doing robberies on North Avenue corridor. We caught the individual, but as you all know, you take one off and 3 try to replace the individual because of the challenging times that we're dealing with, especially with a lot of unemployment. The home burglaries are happening also. We need to make sure that we're being vigilant in regards to our garages and our homes. I know that a lot of people are at home, but there is still that predatory behavior out there that we need to keep our eyes open on that. Some of the tools that the Milwaukee Police Department has been using, we have just been authorized, which will be engaged tomorrow, is a citation for the violation of stay-at-home order. It's a $691 citation. That is something that we can utilize for those situations where people are congregating, not using social distancing, being out for things that are not allowed, as in being engaged in illegal activities or doing things that are not allowed under the safe at home order. We also have the DA's office working with our DA partners in regards to charging those individuals who are engaged in criminal activities, not only suspects, but victims. So we do have mobile drug dealing and reckless driving. Those things are triggers for us upon arrest, that if you are engaged in behaviors that's not allowed under the safe at home order, you will be also either cited or can be charged with the violation of safe at home order. So those are some of the things that we're doing. But, one of the things that we talked about in a lot of different webinars, Milwaukee Police Department can't close shop. We have to be open. And I think that's a responsibility that we take on. I'm very proud of my team and proud of the officers at District number 3, but also the city. No one's trying to call in sick. No one's trying to, stay at home and, do babysitting. They're working it out in regards to how we have to make sure that we're here and being vigilant during these times of crisis and challenging times. So those are some of the things that we're dealing with from the standpoint of, neighborhood issues. We're great to be partnered with Near West Side in regards to giving out the message that, please, social distancing, wash your hands, cover your mouth. I think those are important to help us, again, get over this, hurdle or hump in regards to, we don't want to see the uptick. We want to see the reduction in the particular cases of COVID-19 out there.
Thank you, Captain Norman. It's everyone, a lot of this presentation is focusing on our website, and be sure to know that we have a lot of resources. One of the big pushes that Near West Side Partners has promoted is see something, say something. So if you do see something, say something, and better err on the side of, well, I made a mistake, and rather than having something that negative happened. I just did that with my neighbor the other day. I saw a weird truck out there, and then I went and I texted her. It was the dog groomer. But
go with your gut feeling. Sometimes I think that we try to convince ourselves otherwise, and it's better to be safe than sorry. And sometimes my wife's like, my goodness, we have nosy neighbors. I say, I love them. I love nosy neighbors because I'm not doing anything I need to be worried about. So if there's something that we definitely feel this doesn't feel right, it's better for us, especially you can call in the non-emergency line. You can sit there and, call 911 if you believe it's a true emergency of life or liberty, and that let us check it out. We will make sure that things is on the up and up. If not, then we have proactively engage and be able to stop and impact a crime that's in progress.
Agreed. And also on that website, we do have a link for the hotspot forms, and this is an actual paper tool, but you can do it online on the link at our website. And it's a tool that's needed for folks to be able, for the MPD and Jessica, the DA's office, to be able to actually do some substantial follow-up. If we don't document it, we don't know it. So be sure, and as you see incidences or continued trend, use that hotspot form to be able to get information to the folks that can do something with it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, the big thing about the hotspot forms, Barb, is that the details is what is our best friend for law enforcement. Things that are in a vague or, kind of nebulous type of explanation makes it difficult. We're already being watched in regards to activities. It's important for us to be legitimate in our actions, to understand what is the concern. To tell me that a dark car on your neighborhood is engaged in drug dealing gives us a heads up, but not enough to be able to actually effectively and impactfully be able to intervene. But if you say it's a dark Chevy, Cavalier with tinted windows, that usually is the driver who is, giving out what seems like a white substance to people coming up randomly at this particular corner during this particular time, gives us great detail and gives us a lot more teeth, so to speak, to engage, so that we're looked as, legitimate in law enforcement, and that we're doing things by the Constitution. I am that Marquette Law grad. I can see one of my other colleagues, ADA Ballinger, out there. It's important for us to be able to follow the law because we're expected to follow the law. So definitely these hotspot forms. I know people say, well, why do I got to do all this detail? When you want police to be in your neighborhood, you want them to be almost a surgeon type of, a missile towards that particular problem. Not someone who's trying to visit a family member on that block, not someone who's walking home from work, but actually the perpetrator or subjects involved in criminal behavior or supporting criminal behavior. And those forms, with the detail that we get, allows us to be that type of surgical type of a procedure there.
It's also a tool that we can use and can remain anonymous. Is that correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. The thing that we need is information, whether you want to be anonymous or if you want to give your name. Now, I will say this much. It gives more legitimacy for the complaint that we didn't make this up if somebody wants to reveal who they are, but that is not necessary, because a big thing is it has the effect of at least giving us the detail that we need. It gives us a little bit more of a higher hurdle for us to be able to prosecute effectively without a victim per se afterwards. But the big thing is being able to intervene, and that we are able to identify the problem and be able to go after the problem without just kind of doing guesswork there.
Great, thanks. Okay, and then on to the next slide. Definitely, as Captain Norman did his presentation last night at Crime and Safety, he inspired me to remind all of us, and especially the two folks I'm looking at, Captain Norman, Officer Cavazos, and Jessica, that we appreciate all that you do. There's a lot of folks out on the front line, and that includes the folks in the grocery store. There's so many people that are willing to step up and help keep the world moving while a lot of us have to slow down and stop. So thank you very much to everybody that's been able to step up and help. Yay! Definitely. So I appreciate that. And then there was the one question, correct, about, where's my question?
Fusion centers.
We had once explain what the Fusion Center is and what it does.
Oh boy, that's a kind of, maybe a 2-3 hour type of explanation, but I try and do it in a couple of minutes here. Fusion centers were born out of 9/11. We were seeing that there are a lot of different intelligence agencies that have what's called silos of information, where we have intel in regards to criminal behavior that's going on, but no one was speaking to each other. We have over 80 fusion centers in the nation. We have 2 in Wisconsin. One is in the Southeast, which Milwaukee Police Department housed. The rest, the other one is in Madison for the rest of the state. And what they're doing is that their main directive was counterintelligence, basically trying to find out those who are actually counter terrorism. Now it's counterintelligence added on. looking for information for those who want to do harm on American soil. So essentially, these fusion centers are pretty much almost a clearinghouse of sorts of intelligence coming in from partners, local, state, federal, making sure that it's a circular type of loop of information so that those who are reporting things that are suspicious, as we just talked about, Barb, you see certain type of activities going on that doesn't seem right. Maybe you are like we know about the 9/11, a pilot instructor at school where they just only want to learn how to, take off and just do turns. That's not normal. Those are things that is fed to the Fusion Center where they start to compile information and seeing how the puzzle or the pieces fit into the puzzle to explain, okay, this is something we need to intervene. They advise the police department, they advise other agencies in regards to that type of suspicious behavior. They also work on now, as I was explained to me, counter security, because we all know with the thing about, internet and, we talk about here about Russia influence, Facebook and things like that. They're involved in that information gathering, but also counterintelligence. So the Fusion Center, in short, is a clearinghouse of sorts, different agencies all together. You got FBI, you might have Secret Service, State Patrol, might have Milwaukee Police Department, all sharing information to basically be able to be ahead of the game in regards to issues of counterterrorism, counterintelligence, and cybersecurity. So we have one in Milwaukee, and some states might have even more than one, like Texas or California, where you have a sizable population. But this is all about trying to be communicative to each other to be ahead of the game.
Cool, thank you. And thank you to the neighbor that submitted that question. Are there any others? Did anyone put a hand up or ask any questions in the chat room? Nope.
I think I'll cover one question already. Yes, I'm as handsome and as intelligent as I look. I know what's coming. I had to put it out there just so everybody can be at ease. So we got it. We're good.
Oh, thanks for filling us in on the details. It's so kind of you.
I love myself.
So as a reminder, we have a lot of information on our website. Please be sure to use that, including COVID resources that's updated daily. And as folks send us information, that's sent to the Associate Director Lindsay St. Arnold Bell, and she's doing a great job of making sure that all the information is ready to go. And Elizabeth is waving her finger.
Yep, I see that we have a question that came through on the chat. So I would like to just read the question out to the group. Question that came through on the chat. Can you ask Captain Norman to speak to the recent murder at the corner of 29th and State? Can you tell us anything more? Also, anything about the thefts of police call boxes? Is the question that came through on the chat.
Actually, I can talk to both. The murder on 29th and State was an unfortunate situation, as we all say, that homicides is one too many. It was a targeted situation. The individual was related to drug activity. The suspects are in custody. The unfortunate situation is with the COVID-19, sometimes I believe people are taking in their own hands of how they want to, use their time to either, engage in illegal activities, or again, we've seen an uptick in drug dealing because of, unemployment and whatnot. So the unfortunate thing is that it happened in that area. The good news is that the people who were involved were brought to custody. It was rather quickly. We had a lot of great witnesses that were involved, so that was very helpful. In regards to the stolen call boxes, again, it was all about the information coming from community members. They gave up great information to us to follow up on. We were able to find an individual who was, living near, the Brewers, a stadium over there, where basically they were seeing these particular call boxes in the back of the truck. Was able to call in to us, and we were able to catch up to that information given, and we would place them in custody, and was found out that there was sales on the internet in regards to these call boxes. Someone from Brookfield, in fact. So that call from a nosy neighbor was able to set some events into play, where we were able to not only get the guy who was stealing call boxes or taking the call boxes, but also selling the guy who was behind the fence. So those are both resolved. But again, I think the constant reminder is, you see something, say something. We're partners in this. protecting your community is not a singular thing. It's a team sport, if you want to even call it in that way. But it's just that all hands are on deck that's needed. And Near West Side Partners is a great facilitator to keep us in the loop of communication. So appreciate you all.
Yeah, thank you. An exciting part about those call boxes is we had a number of submissions, I'm told, about creative reuse of them for the action activities. So even more reason to get those back on our corners. Thank you to the folks that said something, and then to MPD being able to follow up. We appreciate it. And so any other questions, Elizabeth? No? Okay. Well,
Nope,
y'all know
that's
where to
it.
find us. Whoop, what'd you say?
I just said that's it.
Okay, that's it. So y'all know where to find us. I think we kept us in good time, under 30 minutes. And the good news is we had some good dialogue and questions, which is what we're trying to promote here. And then your positive thought for the day, we're all at peace. And hopefully you can dance, laugh, what else? Be kind, grateful, smile, love, and peaceful. So have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy our beautiful weather. Yeah, get out and be socially safe. I like to just call it safety distancing, because you're not distant if you're social. At least I'm not. So do make it a good weekend. If you have any ideas for next week's webinar, let us know. And we were happy to go ahead and try and make that work for you. So Captain Norman, thank you so much for your time. Jessica, Officer Cavazos, appreciate your taking time. Elizabeth, thank you for making this work for us. I'm still on the little iffy side of all of it, but you do what you can. So have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks.
Thank you.